Many people do not get it right on this subject of prioritization, and they do things in an episode way. And even if they get the outcome of the task, it may not be of use or it may not be of value. This is in the context of pursuit of goals. It requires a transformation on your ability to get things in order. Today, I'm going to hand you two tools that will help you how to prioritize. The first one is activity based or task based. Second one is time based. Let's talk about the activity based prioritization. There are two parts to that, which is the first one is on the importance of it, second one is the urgency of it. Let's quickly see what is the meaning of important here in the context. Important activities have an outcome that would lead you to achieve your goals, whether it is professional or personal. That means you will have an outcome once the activity is over. The second one, which is the urgent, that would require your attention, and it may be also associated with somebody else's goals or their tasks. And mostly people, they focus on the urgent things. They allow certain things to become urgent, which is obviously it is someone else's task, and then you will focus on your goal, your objective. So now we see that there are two factors, which is importance and urgency. We will dissect that and go slightly deeper into it. If a task is important and urgent, which means that it has to be done immediately and it should not be procrastinated. This you have got into this situation because of the previous delays, or it could be due to external factors that you didn't manage it properly when this was least important or least urgent. The second one is the tasks are important but is not urgent. In such a scenario, you need to have plenty of time to complete the task so that it doesn't become urgent, and you need to schedule these tasks in such a way that the any unforeseen problems external to you or your sphere of influence or your sphere of work do not cause any disturbance to your task. The third one is not important and not urgent. Best thing is avoid them, delete your the task from the list, but you need to have clarity in your goal and the boundaries of the task, whether it is going to have an impact with somebody else or it is going to have a clash in your priority. The fourth one, not important and urgent, it may be due to other people, which means that you should have built in a capacity or tenacity to say no to people but yes to task. That will be a bit difficult, but you need to practice that. A good way to do this is arrange regular meetings with the people so that they don't interrupt you or they don't interfere in your work at a later time when the task becomes important. The famous Eisenhower decision matrix, if you look at that way, this is based on the wartime scenarios. If you classify urgency and importance on a quadrant. The quadrant which contains important and urgent, you need to do it now. Do. When it is important and not urgent, you decide a schedule, decide a time frame when to do that, put it in that bucket and do it at a later time. When it is not important and urgent, you can delegate the tasks. For example, in an organization, if something is not important, not and it is urgent, they may give it to somebody else, some other team or some other company like a vendor. They give it so that they get the task done by external parties. In case if it is not important and not urgent, simply eliminate or delete the task. So these are the 4 Ds which I repeat again: do, decide, delegate, and delete. Now moving on to the time based. When you ask from a CEO of an organization to a student, anybody, if you ask, what they will typically do is that they list down the order of importance of the task and they decide a numbering like 1, 2, 3, 4 up to n. Say for example there are 10 tasks. Then what they will do is that they will put the numbering 1 to 10 and they will take up the first one, complete it, go to the second one, complete it, third, like that they will do one by one and complete or exhaust the continuous list of 10 tasks. That's how they typically people have been tuned or trained to do that. But that is not actually the prioritization. It's a sequencing, but not a prioritization in that sense. The real prioritization based on time is that you have a limited time. We discussed the importance of time in various discussions, including the strategy. Once you assume you take your important or you have a limited amount of time and you can complete 2 tasks, let's say, then what you should do is that once the first 2 tasks are over, you should not go to 3 or 4. You should have the all the tasks, whatever the tasks in your bucket, unfinished tasks, you have to reprioritize and you have to always work on 1 and 2. And you should never ever go to the third or fourth or nth task. You should always fix on the first 2 tasks. This is what the real prioritization is, not to complete the all the tasks in order. Hope this point, hope I'm making it across clear. So having seen both the things, activity or task based as well as the time based, I want to leave you with 2 special tips. The first tip is that avoid competing priorities, which means that once you do the first part, you will have a problem with the other task or other time based tasks. So try to eliminate rather these kind of conflicting or competing priorities. The second important tip is that you have to consider your effort. This effort is like based on how much time the task is going to take. So based on that, you need to consider. Hope this gives you some insight in how to prioritize your tasks. I believe the most important commitment you can make to yourself is prioritization. You can experiment this technique and put into practice. Hope this helps you reach your goals quickly. If you want to see more on this, subscribe to this channel. You will have a lot of insights. I hope you have liked this and I'll see you on the next video. It's Gokul. Have a nice day. Cheers.